All right, good morning, everybody. All right, guys, it is morning time here. Top of the hour New York session. Let's go, George, Chris, Crypto. How are you? CJDV Tips, Bad at Game. Thomas, how you doing? All right, guys, so we did break out in the shorter term here. It looks like London did break us out. Not the breakout I was looking for. But London absolutely did break us out. So now we're in a bit of a range. The question is, how much further are we going to go down? Is New York going to mess around? We broke out this channel here into Tokyo to the downside. And London did nothing and really broke us out. And now we're ranging. So if you look at it this way, technically, we broke out in the 15-minute, which doesn't mean long or short. I'll show you guys kind of what setup I'm seeing. But any way you look at this, Bitcoin did definitely break out in the 15-minute. Now, that would typically be a long for me. And honestly, I would just put a stop below this previous low, typically, if I'm going to long the market. Now it is almost Christmas time, guys, and there's not a lot of volume in the market right now. So things are kind of all over the place here. But Bitcoin did definitely break out. So you can 100% technically trade Bitcoin because it did break out on the lower time frames. All right. So Bitcoin is kind of just ranging in this area, guys, at the breakout point. I went long in ICP at 296. There we go. CJDV, how are we doing? The thing is, guys, that even though we broke out, we are still decently bearish, kind of. I don't know. It's tough to say we're bearish right now because we did break out. But at the same point in time, you can see Bitcoin definitely dropping here. So to long right now is really risky. If anything, I just see us ranging. Maybe we draw this channel. You did break out this area right here, but if Bitcoin rejects, we're going to redraw this channel, and we're going to draw it from here to here, which means that we wouldn't have broken out. But if you look at your initial trend on your RSI, it did break out. So we take these 3 points from right here, this point to this point, 3 points, you can see we broke out. In the shorter term, right? In the shorter term, Bitcoin is just really ranging. And again, not doing anything, guys, not doing anything. Bitcoin's in this region right here. Now the 4 hour is oversold with the Bollinger Bands tightening up. 4 hour oversold, Bollinger Bands are tightening up. okay? Not really anything is happening. Even though the MACD is completely coming down here, where we're very, very oversold. So even though we dropped, honestly, what we're doing, guys, at the moment is we are ranging, okay? That is it, just ranging. Nothing is really happening. You could technically get a Bitcoin long right here and hope it pumps up to there, but last day before Christmas, really, well, before the volatility kicks in, and Bitcoin's doing nothing. If we look at the total crypto market cap here, we're ranging again, right? So now the total crypto market cap did break the trend. We can see right here, we broke the little uptrend. So we're probably going to drop. But we're just really waiting for Bitcoin to make one more final hurrah move. And then after that, in my personal opinion, we're going to drop. We might not hit the top of the channel because we are very bearish on Bitcoin. But if we don't hit the top of the channel, we are probably going to just range sideways until we drop, okay? Yo, just Josh, and yeah, how you doing? If there's any way you could try your best to call some trades, I'm 1,500 away from passing a 150K challenge. Wow, great job. Shout out to you. If you want to be risky, I don't know, because here's the thing. We did break out of this 3 points right here, but okay, so if you want to be risky in the market, here's resistance right here. You could technically long Bitcoin to 88.7. This would have been the long right here at 87, but technically you can long Bitcoin to 88.7 if you want to be risky. If not, then you play the channel and you wait for it to break the channel. So if it breaks right here, you would get out. If it hits right here, you would take a long. Non-financial advice, guys. The market is really just ranging, right? So you're not going to get too much of a move. So there's a possibility we come down to here, which is 86.5. And there's also a possibility we come up to here. Again, New York is a manipulation session, guys, so we'll see what happens. Obviously, we're dropping right now. But this is kind of your channel that we're in. Right? So we are in this channel right here. And you can see it. And this is kind of what we're following. If you look at the 1 hour on Bitcoin too, in the shorter term, yeah, so Bitcoin is dropping here before the New York. Remember, guys, New York, you don't necessarily want to get into any trades before the first hour. So after the first hour, you're looking good. But here's the kind of channel that you'd be following. You did break the RSI already. So you broke this RSI to the upside. If you're looking right here and right here, but now you're kind of faking out a bit. So you gotta wait to see what Bitcoin does. I probably wouldn't be trading right now. I'd be waiting for this to give me some direction. Now, the caveat to that is, guys, that Bitcoin is dropping on the MACD on the 4-hour time frame. So Bitcoin is definitely looking bearish on the 4-hour time frame. However, on the lower time frames, all you're just really doing is ranging inside of this channel until you break. Until you break, all right? Not much is really happening on Bitcoin until this channel breaks one direction or another. All right. Appreciate you, Josh. And any idea on alts? Someone bought ICP? Guys, nothing's really happening in the market, so we try to make something out of nothing here. But let's see what ICP is doing. So Internet Computer is almost at the bottom of the channel. You're dropping again here. Here's the thing, guys. I don't like going against my MACD on the 4 hours, so it's really tough for me to say to long. But if we're completely oversold, it's really tough for me to say short, especially with the range that we're playing. Yeah, so ICP did break out, but it also broke out again. So it pumped, it broke out, it faked out. And then you've got this area. So I would say ICP is probably going to come down to about 260-ish in that region before we come back up. And that would be subjective. But again, if we're looking at ICP and we're looking at our liquidity blocks here, the problem with ICP is we haven't hit the bottom of that support, and pretty much you've been dumping. Actually, I don't think we did break out. Hold on. No, so we tried to break out. We faked out. Yeah, we tried to break out. We faked out here on Internet Computer, and now we're coming back down. So you're definitely looking at Internet Computer hitting the bottom of this order block here, which is about 272. I don't know if it'll break it, but as of right now, that is where I'd be going with on ICP. And you can see ICP is rejecting right there on the daily. So we're looking for a continuation back down on Internet Computer until, in my personal opinion, until we sweep this week low. Now, it is a week low, so that means it could definitely break to the downside, right? If we're looking at our liquidity gaps here on Bitcoin, right? So we broke the trend right here to the upside, kind of. We've got a bit of resistance right here. So personally, for me, I can see Bitcoin hitting 88.7 again, possibly. But there's also another possibility that we do wick down to here. Now, if we break this low, guys, this is when we're in trouble, which is about 86.7. Then we will come down to this area right here at about 84. So really, we're just ranging at our support, at our liquidity gaps here. And we got to see what Bitcoin is doing in that moment. But for the most part, we're not going to see much action until Bitcoin makes a decision, which is actually very annoying for a lot of people I know. But yeah, for right now, we're not going to see much action until Bitcoin makes a decision. And total 3 is ranging. Now, if we look at total 3, guys, which are altcoins, we're definitely coming down here, which is what I was looking at the other day. We're at key resistance. We are dropping. We definitely are dropping. So the question is, do we hit a double bottom here? Or are we going to keep on ranging sideways until we hit the channel? Because we did hit the top of the channel here. We definitely did hit the top of the channel here, technically. And you can see total 3 essentially dumping, right? So we're still in the downtrend, guys, like I said, but we'll see what happens here on Bitcoin. Slack, what is up? Appreciate you and your comment. Thank you for your support on the channel. What do you think about SUI? Seems like it might be a decent short scalp to 136. Just Josh, and can you donate? Not yet, but I appreciate you. In the future, you'll be able to. How about hype? Okay, let's take a look at SUI here. Okay, so SUI's in a pennant, but it broke the trend. This is what I mean. Everything broke the trend, but it's ranging sideways. So if you break this support on SUI, it will drop all the way down to roughly 7%. Okay. Roughly 7% drop on SUI if you break this right here. So if we're looking at our liquidity gaps, where I would short it or where I would look for a potential trade here is outside of 141-ish, non-financial advice. Do your own research, protect your own capital, use the correct leverage. But I would be looking for this to drop all the way to 140-ish. After it breaks 140, yeah, you're looking for a scalp to around 130. There is really nothing holding up SUI after that 140, 141. And you could take this all the way down to pretty much 135 to 130. I would say 132 would probably be a good take profit if it does end up breaking that area. Smash up that like button, guys. Let's run up the live. How about hype? Okay, let's take a look at hype. So hype is definitely on a downtrend here. We can see hype is hitting the top. Inverse head and shoulder, but it is broken trend. Yeah, I would say hype is a good short for sure, down to about 21 bucks, possibly. I'd probably wait till it's oversold, but if it breaks, let me see what hype is doing. If it breaks this area right here, All right, so if we're looking at hype right here, we've got a lot of support. So if hype broke 23, you could get a short scalp to about 22. Risk to reward, I probably would only get in hype if it breaks 22. But yeah, Bitcoin's definitely dropping here. So see the rounded bottom that we're forming at the moment. We've got a little rounded bottom here on Bitcoin. New York is opening up. We're oversold. And this is why you don't want to go against the MACD, guys, because if you go against the MACD on the 4-hour, you're normally in a losing game. But with how oversold the 1-hour is too, it's really tough to, I would say, short and long this. Until it breaks the channel, it has a channel right here, that 88.9, and that's kind of what I'm looking for at that peak top. But if it breaks this, then we know we're very bearish and we're just going to keep dumping. I may be accurate, but make sure you guys are using a stop loss. All right. That's the big thing here, especially in this market, because again, a lot of manipulation is happening. But what we're dealing with XRP, I'm going to go look at the large caps. Guys, we're in a bull flag. Man. Okay. So maybe we do drop today. Maybe we do drop at Christmas time, but we'll see what happens here. XRP did break out. And XRP is going sideways in a bull flag. But XRP did break the channel, the trend to the downside. So I'd be cautious on XRP. I probably wouldn't trade XRP unless it actually broke this area right here at about 194. Again, guys, if I'm looking at Bitcoin on the daily right now, and the 18-hour is definitely dropping. So once this MACD crosses on the 18-hour, I'm going to get more confirmation of a drop on Bitcoin. But we'll see if we push up to that 88.8 target or if we keep dumping. I'm playing this channel. We either break down here, or we not pump, but we range to this area, because a lot of these coins are ranging, right? So, all right, guys, let me give you the lowdown on Chiliz. Obviously, I've been bullish about it. It is doing absolutely nothing. Obviously, the market is bringing it down. Here's my play on this coin. We are in a bull flag way before the bull flag even printed. The MACD is turning up on Chiliz on the weekly. The MACD is turning up on Chiliz on the 3-day. Now, I need everybody to pay attention, guys, to this setup, okay? If you look at the 3-day, we're dropping. And it looks like we could possibly be backtesting the 3-day fair value gap. That being said, the market is obviously dropping. Now, the 3-day MACD is going up. So I'm seeing this right here, and I'm seeing the 4 hours completely oversold but dropping, okay? So 4 hours oversold, dropping. 1 hour's very oversold but dropping. So I can see this potentially going down to this area right here, okay? And then possibly coming up. Now, here's my play with this. If this does drop down to here, I'm looking at it coming back up to here. If it doesn't and it breaks this low right here and starts dumping, I'm probably going to switch to a short. But, which it obviously is dropping right now, right? So we might break or hit the top here, but we are in this bull flag channel and the weekly is moving up. So anything could happen with it. As of right now, it is dropping. Bitcoin's dropping pretty hard right now. So we'll have to see if it holds the channel. If it doesn't hold the channel, it will come down, okay? There you go. So Bitcoin's hitting the bottom of the channel again. So what I'm going to do is redraw the resistance right there. So now that is going to be my resistance on Bitcoin. And now we can see Bitcoin possibly coming down to 86.1. All right, guys, so we got this 1 hour candle here on Bitcoin drop. And again, I wouldn't be trading this myself because we're in this channel. Good morning. Can I check midnight, please? For sure. So if I'm looking at midnight, midnight is in a little bit of an uptrend here. We are bouncing off this area on midnight, but we have got so we didn't break the uptrend on midnight yet, guys. I mean, we didn't break the downtrend yet on midnight. The downtrend's literally right here. If we break this, midnight could reverse up. You're oversold in the 1 hour. You kind of are bouncing off the trend here. So we'll have to see how that plays out on midnight. You're kind of riding that trend line, but the 4 hour is very, very overbought and coming down on the MACD. So I wouldn't go against the MACD on the 4 hour. And I would watch your 1 minute right here and see if it breaks out. You do have a triple bottom, rounded bottom at the bottom. So technically this should be an uptrend reversal. Technically. So if it breaks out of this area, it could potentially run to about 9, but that MACD is going to push you down on higher time frames. All right, let's see what Bitcoin is doing here, guys. So Bitcoin wicked down to whatever it did here, 86,540. Now you're coming back up. You're about to get a 1-hour close here. And you're about to get some ridiculous bullish divergence on Bitcoin. Ridiculous bullish divergence on BTC. Unless Bitcoin forms a low right here, this is going to be bullish dive all day. So I pretty much am drawing my channel here. I wouldn't long Bitcoin though, guys. Again, just because I'm saying bullish divergence, I wouldn't long it. It looks like Bitcoin could potentially drop down to 86K potentially with the 15-minute, but that is really crazy bullish divergence. So if it did want to pump, it definitely could pump for sure. If it did want to pump, it could pump, guys. Absolutely. All right. Can I take a look at Ethereum? This is where millionaires are made in the market, guys, where they could just let things happen and watch the charts, right? Look at Ethereum, Kale. Look at Ethereum. Ethereum had that head and shoulder. Ethereum did break out. Again, a lot of things broke out, but the problem with that breakout is that they were broken by the trend. So I would be pretty cautious. I'm not really seeing anything on Ethereum right now other than a range. You're oversold on the 15-minute. You're oversold on the 1 hour. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. So basically what Bitcoin is doing, guys, just so everybody knows, again, we're following AMD, guys, to a T. Like, this is clockwork right now. So what Bitcoin did was we pretty much are manipulating and taking out London's Tokyo and London's low. So we came down below. We broke support, right? We broke support. We came down to 86.5, whatever it is, and we could come down a lot more. But we are going to take out, or they're going to try and take out London's and Tokyo's low, essentially. Tokyo's low, okay? So that's essentially what Bitcoin is doing at the moment. You are very, very oversold. We're just really waiting for the manipulation to settle down a bit there. All right, long on ADA, Cardano. Market is definitely selling off, guys. I will say that for sure. So it does look like there could be a holiday move into Christmas time, possibly. This is pretty much the last major day, I believe, to the stock market is open. Full hours, 24th. Yeah, today's the last major day. So Yeah, long on ADA. I don't think I would go long. I wouldn't really go long on anything right now, guys. If you think a trade is going to move, I would be doing spot or very, very low leverage. Olga, good morning. How are you doing? But like I said, what we're doing in New York is they're really going for that Tokyo low, which is essentially manipulation, right? So ADA's in a bit of a downtrend here. If ADA breaks this downtrend, I would definitely be looking for a long for sure. Yeah, so there you go. New York manipulated, broke structure, which is the break of trend right here. Came out of the London close, right? Came out of the London close, and now you're moving back up. Now, will it stay moving up? We'll see, but that is pure manipulation all day for New York, as we get manipulation all the time. And now you can see some hidden divergence here. There's definitely some divergence. So if we could break out of this, that is crazy divergence. You touch the bottom of the RSI 3 times. If we can break out of this, the market will fly out of 87.8. And I'm not going to say fly, but pump. Definitely pump, right? So remember, guys, when we look at AMD, we have A, M, and then D. This is very important. The reason this is important is because things work in sessions. We know Tokyo kind of sold off. I would say, yeah, Tokyo distributed to the downside, even ranged. We know London accumulated. And now we know New York is most likely manipulating, which is what New York always does. We'll get a bit more data and information there, but that's essentially what is happening. I'm going to put an alert outside of my channel. We've got a Solana here. Okay, so Solana's back at 122, which is perfect because Solana was hitting the side of the channel. We broke the trend and now we're dropping, so that makes sense. Typically, guys, when you hit the top of the channel, you're going to drop. We had a little bit of a fake out here. So Solana is definitely targeting around 114. However, it is probably going to range until Bitcoin drops again. We just noticed we tagged that 1 hour fair value gap. Yeah, so if we go to the fair value gap here on Bitcoin, or if we go to our liquidity gaps, we have hit the weekly low at about that 86.5 region. And this would be your 86.8. Like, personally, guys, if I was looking for a long, this is what I would do. I would long right here in this area, 86.8, 86.7. And I would put my stop at 86.4. Very tight stop, but I can see that the market is bouncing off of this area right here. So if I know that, I'd be opening up a long right here, and I would put a tight stop, right? I'm okay losing the trade. In trading, you got to be a good loser, but I know my stop loss would be 86.4, something very, very tight. If we hit it, I'm out of the trade. But if we move up, I'm making money, right? So that is how I would trade this market, is make sure you're going for those lows on the gaps, the liquidity fair value gaps. This should be the low, but if it did hit 86.4, then we're out, right? But I would definitely be non-financial advice, but I would be long in this area. I just put stop loss at 86.4, right? If we get stopped out, we get stopped out. It is what it is. We know we swept that liquidity right there. And we know we took out the low for London. I mean, Tokyo. We took out the Tokyo low, and we know it is manipulation. So if we know this is manipulation, what we want to do is we want to catch that low. And that is exactly what the market is pretty much doing right now, taking out that low. Moises, how you doing, brother? Good morning. All right, guys. So the Christmas schedule. I'll do a live Christmas night for everybody. Possibly. I don't know what time. I'll try to figure it out, but I will do a live Christmas night. I'll give you guys that. I will do a live Christmas night. I don't know if it's going to be right at 8 p.m. to 8:30. I'm not doing a live Christmas morning, but definitely Christmas night, I'll do a live for you guys. I'll have to look at the schedule because I don't really want to do lives when the market isn't open, but sure, why not? Christmas night, we'll do a live. I'm not in any relationship. I don't got to answer to women, so I'll do a live. Again, guys, so if you're just tuning into the live, here is my play, and this is my only play. My only play at the moment is two things. Bitcoin, long outside of this sweep right here. Stop loss 86.4. If you get stopped out, it is what it is. Now, keep in mind, guys, the MACD is going down the 4-hour time frame, so that is typically not good. But again, these are just scalp trades that we would be looking at. We can see Bitcoin is dropping on the 15, but we are completely oversold. So we have a couple more minutes left here. Let's see what happens on Bitcoin on the 15-minute. No problem, Moises. No problem. There's some pretty good bullish divergence on Bitcoin, guys, right now. So anything could happen. This is the crypto market, right? This is what stop losses are for. Stop losses are to eliminate your losses. It doesn't mean don't trade the market, right? What is Aave at? Yeah, crazy. Aave's ridiculous. 150. Ridiculous. Aave is the #1 loser in crypto right now. Imagine if I would have held that trade. Wow. And I was locked in on that trade all day, all day. Yeah, so everything that is trending right now, guys, is Tether. So people are bearish for sure. Pax G, Gold, AU. Again, I'm long Bitcoin at 86. There it is, 86.7, 86.8. And my stop loss is 86.4. Okay, that is it. Let's look at USDT.D here. Yeah, we're pumping. We are pumping, which is not a good thing. The 18-hour is completely oversold, guys, on USDT dominance. That is not good. Not good, not good. See if Chiliz came up here. Okay, so here's the play, guys, on this trade. I need everybody to listen. If it doesn't play out, you can invalidate it. But look what Aave did, even though Aave is a shorting market. Looks like our Bitcoin long is going to play out here. But here's what I need everybody to look at. Draw this RSI peak from right here to right here, okay? Draw this top of the channel because I'm not sure. It might do nothing, but I want to make sure that if it does break out, you guys get into it. At the moment, it needs to break this resistance. However, if you guys are in a long or low leverage trade in this area, that is fine too. Where you get out of this trade, hey, our long's playing out. Look, the manipulation kicked in Bitcoin, right? Where you get out of this trade, guys, is right here when it back tests and dumps, okay? That is pretty much it. If it is playing this bull flag, let it play the bull flag, okay? When I say low leverage, I'm talking 3x. And then add to it if it breaks out. But you want to match it up with your 1 hour, okay? This 4 hour is so darn oversold that it looks like this 4 hour could possibly play out the bull flag, possibly. We still got this bump of an uptrend right here, right? So there you go. There's the bull flag on Chiliz. I don't know if it'll play out. But based on the 3-day MACD, based on the weekly breaking out, it did break the market. It broke at least to about 4.7. Now we're just kind of ranging. So I know I keep mentioning it, but this is kind of like Aave in a way. I don't like how we're dipping back into the pennant, but we are bouncing off that fair value gap. If it breaks that channel, I'm out. I don't care. I'm out. But I'm looking for the back test if it does break that channel. Okay. So that is my play with Chiliz. It looks like our Bitcoin long is playing out here. We got the manipulation sweep of Tokyo. And now we're just waiting. We are just waiting for the break on the 5-minute right here. We get the break on the 5-minute right here. We are rocking and we are rolling. And then there's your bullish divergence right here, guys. Boom. So more ranging fun in the crypto market. All right. All right, guys, that is what I got for everybody today. I'm trying my best here to analyze the market, guys, but I'm going to be honest with you. There just is not much volume in the market at the moment because of Christmas. There isn't. there isn't a lot of volume. So if you're longing and shorting, you're really scalping unless you're getting in at that bottom, okay? That's really it. There we go. Our long's playing out on Bitcoin, guys. So if you took that long, you're already in profit. Non-financial advice, guys. You got to protect your own capital. But bang, right there, manipulation. New York sweeping the Tokyo low, going below it, breaking support. That's where you take the trade. Now we're going to get a bit of more range momentum and possibly a pump into Christmas time. Maybe. Maybe. We'll have to see. Banging. Look at that. So I'm going to teach you guys all how to take how to calculate AMD in the new year in 2026, okay? So I'm going to teach you guys how to calculate AMD in 2026 in the new year, and you guys are going to learn it completely. It isn't just about ranging and pumping and dumping. There is more that goes into it, all right? But set your stop loss and profit. It is approaching resistance. It should break out, but anything could happen. That's all I got for you guys today. The market is not doing really anything. Just Josh and I appreciate it. If you guys are new, let me know. Welcome to the fam. Welcome to the channel. And that's all I got for you guys today. If you're looking for the overall direction, the market is definitely bearish on the 4-hour, but in the shorter term, we can catch some moves. Okay, I hope you guys have a wonderful, blessed day. We will possibly see you tonight. I want to see if the Tokyo stock market holiday hours. Yeah, we should. Yeah, we should be good. We'll see you guys tonight. 8 to 8:30 tonight, guys. YouTube live. All right. Don't get caught in the market. Set your stop losses and profit. Have a great day, guys. Thank you all for being on the live. Smash the like. Join beastlimitless.com if you guys haven't. Post trade setups, all right? Again, guys, people are posting trade setups in here. beastlimitless.com. It is free. It is our app. It is like Telegram. It's like Facebook. Okay? A lot of these guys have experience trading. All right, guys. Have a great day. We'll see you tonight.